but I just can't breathe. Woo! Welcome back, adventurers. Thanks for joining me. So, a lot of these ultra marathons tend to be run at very high altitudes. Yeah, high altitude. I mean, what is it about running 100 miles that we think we need to make more difficult by also sticking it on top of the mountain, right? Anyways, that's just how it works out because those runs tend to be the most beautiful. One of my dream races is actually the Leadville 100, which is very, very high altitude. So I've done a lot of research on what to do when you're running at 10,000 feet, especially if you're a sea level runner like I am, living in Los Angeles, and not having access to backcountry Utah, where you have 10,000 foot mountains to train on. So what do you do if you live somewhere with no elevation? How do you prepare for a race like that? Well, I have a few tips that might help you. First, in training, you should make an effort to do a few high elevation runs. You don't need to train every week at high elevation. And you don't need to get an oxygen mask so that you can run with one of those big things on and act like you're getting high elevation training. It's a little bit unnecessary, okay? We're not trying to win the race. We're trying to do well and we're trying to beat ourselves. So if you can just get the experience of running at a high altitude a few times during your training, even 5 times, try to shoot for 5 times in the couple of months leading up to your race to get somewhere with high elevation. And in LA, it's not that hard. There's mountains within an hour drive. Pretty much anywhere. I mean, unless you're really in a flat zone. And even in that case, maybe plan a family vacation somewhere that has some mountains that you can get some mountain runs in. Because if you can do a few of those just to understand what the feeling of running at high elevation is, your body will thank you for it. The second thing is once you get to the race, don't worry about it. I know that it can be really nerve-wracking, but I can tell you that I've never had any issues with high elevation, and I've always trained at sea level. So yeah, the first 3 miles are gonna suck. The first 3 miles always suck. You know, you're still getting your body warmed up, you're still getting into it. So just be patient on yourself and be easy. For an ultra marathon, especially, if you feel like you're going slow, you need to go slower. So if you're having a hard time breathing, just stop and walk. Catch your breath and then start up again. And just relax, you know, enjoy it. When I did my last 50 mile at 10,000 feet, I really struggled the first 3 miles. I had a hard time catching my breath. And after that, I was fine. Another thing you can do is work on your breathing while you're running at sea level, while you're doing your training runs. Focus on breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. In 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So you just breathe in, breathe out. Do it on your long run or an easier run where you can just practice long breaths. Okay, none of that shallow like long breaths in and out. A good trick is to watch like, okay, when my right foot hits down, I'm gonna breathe in, count to 4, out, count to 5, and then when my left foot hits down, breathe in, count to 4, out, count to 5. That's a great breathing technique to help you during any of your runs. It makes sure that you're getting oxygen to both sides of your body evenly. It's nice and balanced. And it kind of takes your mind off of the running. And it will help in high elevation. Another thing that will help in high elevation is drinking water. Water will help bring oxygen into your bloodstream. So if you're feeling out of breath at all, just drink more water. It's that simple. I know there are a lot of other things like pills you can take or different types of foods. Greens are good, eat salads, but some people don't like to eat salads because of all the fiber. So don't worry about that too much. Yes, you can get elevation sickness, altitude sickness, but I've never had it. I've never seen anybody really deal with it that bad. So, you know, maybe if you're at like 15,000 feet, you want to reevaluate, but anything up to 10,000 and at 10,000, I think you'd be okay. So follow those tips. Let me know if you have anything that's helped you at a high elevation race. I'd love to hear in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Oh my God, my ultra is like 10 days away or something. I'll be back.